Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
And today we're going to talk about getting sick and going to the hospital.
Wait, I thought we were talking about tone changes.
No.
No? Why do you always reject me?
不.
Oh. We are going to talk about tone changes related to the word 不, because as you maybe know, if you pair a 不 together with a first tone, then you have to change the 不 to the second tone. Okay, and today we will talk about this in a bit more in detail.
不要.
Okay, that was the first already. 要,不要.
Let's check out the dialogue.
怎么没接电话？
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
不用担心，好好休息。怎么没接电话？
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
不用担心，好好休息。怎么没接电话？
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
不用担心，好好休息。
Okay, so now that we've seen the dialogue, let's break it down line by line. 怎么没接电话？
How come you didn't pick up the phone?
怎么没接电话？
How come you didn't pick up the phone?
怎么没接电话？我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
I was sick, couldn't eat, and couldn't even move.
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
I was sick, couldn't eat, couldn't even move.
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。你还好吗？
Are you okay?
你还好吗？
Are you okay?
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
Do you want to go see a doctor?
要不要去看医生？
Do you want to go see a doctor?
要不要去看医生？我明天去。
I'll go tomorrow.
我明天去。
I'll go tomorrow.
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
I can't go to work today. What should I do?
今天不能去上班，怎么办？
I can't go to work today. What should I do?
今天不能去上班，怎么办？不用担心，好好休息。
Don't worry. Take a good rest.
不用担心，好好休息。
Don't worry. Take a good rest.
不用担心，好好休息。Okay, so we have two colleagues, and one is a bit concerned about the other one. So he goes, 怎么没接电话? A little bit accusatory in the beginning. Why didn't you pick up the phone?
Okay. And then the other colleague says like, oh, I was sick and I couldn't even eat. I couldn't even move a bit. And here we have the first tone changes already because we have things that are paired with 不. And as we just mentioned, if we have 不 together with a first tone like here's 下 and 动, we have to change the 不 to the second tone. So it becomes 不下 and 不动. But what does it actually mean? Maybe we start with like 吃不下.
吃不下. Okay, so 吃 is to eat, and we have 不下 as one unit. So we can loosely define this as something doesn't fit. So in the case of 吃不下, it's like I can't even eat. This doesn't fit in my stomach. So one of two options, either I'm super full or I'm so sick that nothing's gonna go in anymore. Okay, so that's a verb plus 不下, and we're gonna talk about a few examples. I'm gonna give you one sentence. 我太饱了，吃不下饭。
Okay, so you had enough food already, you're full. Okay. And we could use this with drinks as well, like 喝不下, right?
我太饱了，喝不下咖啡。
Okay. Or I had too many coffees already.
No more.
But does it only work with food-related items?
If we change the verb 吃 or 喝 to other things, we can describe other situations that don't fit. For example, if the car's too small and we can't fit more people, we can say 车子太小，坐不下更多人。 Can you think of any more examples?
I think we can, if we like put, or if there's no place to put something, you could say 放不下.
放不下, it doesn't fit. So for example, if I have a bag, I can say 包包太小了，放不下东西。
没关系，我帮你拿.
Oh, so sweet. So my tiny little clutch does not fit everything I have, but he's going to hold everything for me.
Ain't I nice?
So just to review, we have a verb plus 不下, meaning something doesn't fit. For example, I am too full. I can't eat or drink anymore. That's 吃不下,喝不下. Or if the space is too small and something doesn't fit, I could say 坐不下. I can't fit another person. No one else can sit there. Or 放不下, which means there's no space to place something there.
The next tone change is 不动. This is commonly found after verbs to indicate that you lack the physical ability of doing something. So you often find it after actions or movements. In the dialogue we had 走不动, which is like walk, cannot move. So like I can really not walk. I don't have the ability to walk anymore. What other things could we like use this with?
Okay, so I had a friend and I asked him if he wanted to exercise with me. Do you want to come running with me? And he says, 我太胖了，跑不动. What does that mean?
Kind of he said, oh, I am too fat, like I cannot do that. So if a person's out of shape or just like maybe he didn't go for a run for a while, then you could say this as well, like
跑不动.
跑不动, I cannot run, no.
Yeah. Or he also, the very next time said, 我太老了，跑不动, always excuses. I'm too old.
Too
I
old.
can't move. Okay, so that's not being able to run. Or we can say something is too heavy. So for example, this is something that I'll say to you very often. Joe, 太重了，我拿不动，可以帮我吗?
Of course, I can help you.
Okay, so these two friends, colleagues, are also friends and they're concerned about each other. So if somebody's really sick and even though they've already told you they're not doing well, you can still say, 你还好吗? Are you okay? Just like in English. And the next line has a really interesting tone change pattern that I really like. 要不要?
So here, 不 is paired with 要, which is both forced tones, so you have to change the 不 to 不, so it becomes 要不要. And this kind of pattern where you have like a verb, a 不 in the middle, and another verb or the same verb is often used in Chinese to ask yes or no questions. While this sounds maybe weird, literally translated to English, like do you want to or not want to do something, it's very common in Chinese.
So for example, if I'm saying, Joe, 我想看电影，要不要跟我一起?
要.
Yao. So when I say 要不要, I actually do have an answer in my mind. It's sort of an indirect way of making a suggestion. Or I can say, 要不要去吃饭?
好.
好. Yay. So we can also put other verbs instead of 要. Oh, so speaking of 去, we can also put that into this pattern. 去不去? Do you want to go or not?
For example, I could ask you, 我要去酒吧，你去不去？
走吧? 去不去? Or I can say, 我要去香港，你去不去?
I'll join you, of course.
Oh, it's close. Let's go.
You may have noticed that sometimes those tone change rules don't apply that strictly, and this happens often when native speakers talk quickly or use phrases that are used very often to make it sound a little bit nicer. So this influences the structures we have used today as well. So for instance, here the 不 often becomes a fifth tone instead. So the 吃不下 would more sound like a 吃不下, or the 走不动 would more sound like a 走不动, or 要不要 would become 要不要.
So the sick colleague says he'll go to see the doctor tomorrow. 我明天去. But he's also a bit worried. He says, 今天不能去上班，怎么办? Uh-oh, what should I do if I can't go to work today? I'm worried.
不用担心, which means no need to worry. So 不用 is no need, and 担心 is worry. And we can use this with other things as well, right?
Oh yes, I have an example where you can comfort me.
Okay.
I have a sad story. So I had a boyfriend who was really mean, and I'm really sad.
不用难过，下一个会更好。
下一个会更好。
不用难过 was no need to be sad, but you could place other things here as well. For example, 不用哭 no need to cry, or 不用怕 no need to be afraid. These often are like negative. Do we find some positive examples as well?
I can think of one example where it's something positive at the end. 不用谢.
Oh yeah, how could I forget this? This is very common, just like no need to thank or you're welcome.
And the very last line is 好好休息. So 好好 in this case just means it's good. And that just means take good care or rest well. It means well. 好好休息. Please rest well. Okay, so we've explained everything in great detail. Let's look at the dialogue again.
怎么没接电话？
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
不用担心，好好休息。怎么没接电话？
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
不用担心，好好休息。怎么没接电话？
我生病了，吃不下也走不动。
你还好吗？要不要去看医生？
我明天去。今天不能去上班，怎么办？
不用担心，好好休息。
Today we talked about many phrases with the word 不, or actually phrases where the tone changes to 不, because that happens whenever we place 不 with a fourth tone together. So what were the phrases we had today?
Okay, so we had 吃不下. I'm unable to eat because I'm so full. We also had 走不动. Can't even move, can't walk anymore. And we also had a pattern with the verb 不 and the same verb repeated. For example, 要不要? Do you want to do something? And what was the last phrase?
The last one was 不用担心.
Don't worry. Okay, if you have any other questions or phrases that fit into the patterns we talked about today, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Introducing Chinese Pod Recap, the app with fast summary lessons. How much time do you have? Join us in the beta program. For more info, go to ChinesePod.com/recap.